from the Mike and April studios. This is Plugged In.
Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. It is episode 20 of April Unplugged. How is everybody doing? Hope you had a great weekend. I know we did. We had a blast. Cannot wait to share some of those moments and stories with you. We just had a wonderful, wonderful time. Welcome in, Sean S., Vance Grady, the Gambler After Dark. Appreciate everybody joining us this morning or evening. Sorry. Welcome in, Shelly. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody had a great day today. I know we're a little off as far as Unplugged with April, but we were traveling yesterday, or I should say plugged in with April. There's no such thing as a happy Monday. Sure there is, Sean S. Sure there is. But as you know and may not know, as we were traveling to Galveston, we did a test live from the street or driving on the welcome in Lisa from the highway. And unfortunately, it was just way too shaky to do our live coming back yesterday evening. So we just switched it to today. So I do appreciate everybody coming in and showing us some support. Be sure you hit that thumbs up button when you come in and join in on our live. If you are on vacation, I know, Sean S., right? We had a great time, guys. It was just a lot of fun and much needed relaxation, definitely. Hey, welcome in, Gambler After Dark. We are 18 days away from Vegas, guys. So exciting. I wasn't sure if I should even unpack my bag from Galveston and Houston this weekend. I was like, well, I guess I should probably unpack all of it, but some of it I was going to leave in there. But I am excited. We are 18 days away from our big annual road trip, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll start down that countdown now. Welcome in, Little Dutchie. Thank you for joining us. So I do have a surprise guest for y'all tonight. This here, I wanted to share. This is my little sweet Sadie. So this is my super girl who we all almost lost last week, and I just kind of wanted to show you. She's a little shaky right now, but I'm going to tell y'all this story. But I just want everybody to see, this is Sadie Moose. This is our sweet little pup that was gravely ill last week and ended up surviving. Mwah, she's a good girl. But if you don't know the story, I'm going to just give you a recap very quickly. I took her last Monday. And I had her groomed, which she was just supposed to be kind of cut and then get her shots. But she was so mad that they ended up having to shave her because she is a 3.5-pound miniature Shih Tzu. And took her in, had her groomed. They gave her vaccinations. I brought her home. She was feeling fine. By Tuesday, she was declining very, very rapidly. And she was having small seizures and then bigger seizures, and she really wasn't eating. I mean, it was a whole big mess. So I stayed up with her all night Tuesday night, getting her, trying to get her to drink a little bit of something. Welcome in, Kelly Bell. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing well. Anyways, I stayed up all night Tuesday night with her. Wednesday rolled around. Wednesday night, same thing. And she just was still kind of declining. I called the vet. They said just to watch her and whatnot. By Thursday, guys, it was really bad. She couldn't, she had no strength. She wouldn't hold her head up. I could barely get her to drink. I was having to kind of force it down. So I took her back to the vet and they told me that it was old age. And she kept having big seizures along with a lot of little seizures, what they call cluster seizures. And they had told me that I needed to euthanize her. I needed to put her to sleep. And I just couldn't do it. It was just not something I felt comfortable doing. Talked with Mike, and we decided that we would wait a couple of days, get another opinion before we did anything. And miraculously, crazy enough, woke up and she just all of a sudden snapped out of it, got better, I guess it was like 2:30 one morning. She just kind of opened her eyes up and looked at me and started drinking. And she is now 100% back to normal. And I am so glad that I did not listen to the vets at all. It was just kind of a scary ordeal, guys, but I wanted to show you in case you saw my live the other night to when we were on our way to Galveston. That is our little Sadie. She definitely is our oldest pup here, but I'm so glad. I would just always recommend get a second opinion or sit on things and think about it when the vets are, have an opinion. They basically were just telling me that her organs were shutting down. She's so sweet. That, she was just old age, and she's only 11 years old. So I was just kind of shocked by that because usually smaller dogs do live a lot longer. Yes, you're right, little Dutchie. Thank goodness. I'm just thank God that she is so back to normal. She's a little cold, like she gets cold right now, and I've got her Christmas sweater on her just because they had to shave her down so much. She was matted underneath, apparently. I don't know. But anyways, she will not be going back to that groomer. She will not be going back to that clinic either. Thank you so much, Sean S., for the $4.99 super chat. Yay for Sadie. I agree. I appreciate that. You are so awesome. Thank you, Sean. You're great. You're so great. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to give you an update. I wanted to show you our little pup. And so, yep, Sadie is super Sadie, and she did great. But anyways, I think we can, before we get into our Galveston talk and stuff, we have our favorite part of the video where you guys all hashtag Mike Matters. And thought that maybe we could go ahead and do our drinks with Mike and see how that goes. And then what we'll do after that is I'll give you a recap of Galveston. It was a lot of fun. Kind of talk about that a little bit. Also, after our live show tonight, we also have a premiere going on. But anyways, so let's go ahead and do our drinks with Mike, and we'll take it from there.
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon is my choice. Thank you, babe. You're funny. So Blue Moon, to celebrate being on the island this weekend. We obviously didn't have time to make a drink or film it, so we just thought we would still include him. But I am drinking the Blue Moon. That's right. Beer is good. Let me tell you, I actually tried ranch water for the first time this weekend, being out on the bay and swimming. It was actually very refreshing, I thought. And I never had ranch water, but if you haven't tried it, you should. It was really good. There was a spicy one, and then we had the lemon lime one as well. And they were both very good. Very, very good. All right, so let's get to Thursday. So Thursday, it was still kind of iffy on if we were going to be able to leave and what was going on with Sadie, but she started bouncing back. She did really well. Our daughter was here, so she was able to watch the dogs for us, and especially, keep a close eye on Sadie. But we headed out of here, and what we did the first night is we drove to Houston. That is where my son and his girlfriend Jordan live. And we drove down to Houston. Hit a little bit of rain. It wasn't anything too bad, but the traffic leaving the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I don't think we got out of the immediate area for like an hour and 15 minutes. But we got to Houston about 11 o'clock at night. Got to talk and, hang out with them for a little bit. We slept the first night there at their home, and then we got up on Friday morning and headed to the beach. So we went down to Galveston Island, and we drove up, like I said, I think we left the house like at 10 a.m. after we got everything packed up and stuff. Then we headed on down to Galveston, and I haven't been there in years, and I have a great story to tell y'all here in a minute. Mike won a Super Husband of the Year award for sure during our trip, but I hadn't been to Vegas, my goodness. I hadn't been to Galveston since I was probably 12 years old. And so it was a lot of fun to go down there, see how much of it had changed and whatnot. The house that we stayed in was on the bay side, so we weren't necessarily on the beach, but we were on the bay side. But man, this was an absolutely beautiful place. There was docks everywhere, the water. I mean, look at that. It was absolutely gorgeous. So we stayed in a house very similar to what looks like here. Downstairs, there was a bar area with the breezeway, and then you would walk out to the dock, and we did so much fishing, and it was incredible. We totally loved being on the bay side versus, where you hear beach houses and everybody wants to be on the beach. It was actually really nice. There we are here. That is Lake and Mike fishing there. They have these things that they're called green lights, and I guess for saltwater fishing, you push these lights into the water, and then it is so amazing to see, guys. All the fish would start swimming around the light and be attracted to it. So as we were fishing, you could see all the small fish coming through, but then you could see the larger fish as well. So it was kind of gave us an advantage, honestly, when it came to fishing. It was a lot of fun. We were fishing with shrimp and caught, I think they were called freckled or speckled trout. Mike actually had a interesting catch. He actually caught a blue crab and on his fishing pole with his fishing lure. I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. I thought he was pulling in a turtle, and then I was like, no, wait, this can't be a turtle. Turned out that it was actually a blue crab. So that was cute. And not only did he do that once, but he did it twice. He was able to pull out 2 blue crabs, which was absolutely crazy to me. And my son goes there all the time. Obviously, it's one of the houses that they go to a lot. And he said he had never come across catching a crab on a fishing pole. Normally they have to set a trap for that. So Mike wins the weird catch of the trip because he got the 2 of those, and then he caught several of the speckled, freckled trout, whatever. And I caught 1 trout as well. But there was this one time, guys, I was fishing. Oh yeah, I got to tell you another second story. But did you catch and release or cook them up? We released them all. Depending on the size or whatnot. Hi, welcome, Indiana. Thank you for joining us. So depending on what the size is and whatnot, as far as the fish go, you can keep or throw away. The crab, we didn't think we would catch enough to cook because you probably need about 2 per person of that size that Mike had caught. So we did not keep that crab either because it was just a weird coincidence that he caught the first one. So then when he got the second one, I thought, man, maybe we should have started trying for more and keeping them out. Or we could have set the trap, I guess, and had some crab. But anyways, I was fishing and my bobber kept going underwater, and it would stay underwater for a couple seconds and it would pop back up, right? And so I was just like, oh, this is just a tiny little fish. And then it stayed underwater. And as I'm reeling it in, it was super light. And I was like, I don't understand, like the bobber's staying underwater, but I don't feel like there's anything on my line. As I reeled this thing in, and mind you, we are fishing with live shrimp. As I'm actually reeling in my reel, I look and I yell, oh my gosh, guys, I got a jellyfish. How in the world I caught a jellyfish fishing is crazy to me. So I pull I reel it in and I pull it out of the water, and it has literally just kind of sucked up onto the shrimp, and it is just dangling there. So there is a jellyfish, right? And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I don't want to touch it. Nobody wants to touch it. Were we just going to cut the line and let it go or what? And I don't remember if it was Mike or Lake. One of them said, just shake your pole and maybe it'll fall off. And sure enough, I shook the pole and it just literally like released the shrimp, fell back into the water and floated away. And then my shrimp was still good and I could use it again. But I just never seen that before. I've never seen someone catch on a rod and reel, A, a blue crab, or B, a jellyfish. And that was just really odd to me. It was beautiful to see. And I think Mike posted on one of our shorts, some of the jellyfish that were floating in the bay, which again, my son was saying he doesn't normally see the jellyfish around in that area. But we had a great time. Both Friday night and Saturday night, we stayed up hours. I mean, from sundown until I think 1 o'clock in the morning Friday night. And then I think my son stayed out till I think 4, maybe Friday night, Saturday morning fishing. He caught several fish. I freaked out a little too with the jellyfish. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't want to touch it. I'm not a big fan of cutting the line and leaving whatever it is, with this hook in the ocean or in a lake. But that was going to be my go-to, I guess, if I had to. But luckily, I just shook it and it fell right off. But anyways, we did lots of fishing. We had a great time. We spent the day. During the day, we kind of just hung around the house. We actually cannot believe it. We took a 2-hour nap one day, which was awesome. We then, on the bay side, the water was really calm. We went fishing on that side. Yes, where the jellyfish were. Luckily, we didn't see any during the day. We went swimming there, and Jordan and I had decided we would get the lily pad out, and it kind of floats on top of the water, and we sat on there, and we ended up playing beer pong. Yes, so there we are. So we are floating on here, but we actually ended up playing beer pong where she sat at one end of the mat and I sat at the other, and we put the cup in the middle and we were throwing the ping pong balls into the cup, guys. So this was so much fun. Welcome in, Sister Yoshi. I hope you're doing well. It's great to see you. So nice to see you in here. So that was a lot of fun being able to just get some downtime and relax. The lily pad was great. Just hard to believe that we were out there fishing in this same water that we were swimming in during the day. And it's oddly enough, I didn't see any fish. I didn't feel any fish like tickling my legs or anything while we were out there swimming during the day. We didn't see the jellyfish. Lots of beautiful bird life. Look at that. That's Pelican Pete, I saw that one. That was the first day we got there. We went to the marina and went out to eat. And I'll tell you about that bar in a second. But I saw that Pelican Pete. There's a great picture too. Thank you, babe. That's funny. I love these pictures. But there was that pelican was there, and I was like, well, does this mean that there's a casino nearby and we needed to go play Pelican Pete somewhere? But it was a lot of fun where we stayed. Like I said, downstairs there was a bar set up with a TV, and so we were able to make drinks. Lake made pina coladas, and we had a great time. It was so relaxing. There it is. Yep. And it was a lot of fun. The first day we got there, when we went to the marina to get our shrimp and whatnot, we decided to eat at Clay Walker's sand shell or sand bar. And it was delicious, guys. The food was wonderful. They had this shrimp. It was so good. It was shrimp wrapped with cream cheese, and it was wrapped with bacon. And it was so delicious. So that was really good meal once we got there. Oh, yep. I think that was Saturday night's meal when we went there. That was Nate's bar. But yeah, that's our son Lake and his girlfriend Jordan. She's been around they've been friends since they were 14. So she's been a part of the family for quite some time. It was just a blessing to get away and have some fun and be able to relax. On Saturday, leading up to this, I'll tell you, I had always told Mike that, my grandfather used to take me to Galveston. One of these days we need to get down there. I would love to be able to try to see and see Galveston or whatever. And I kind of just explained to him the motel that we used to stay at way back when, and how back, in the 80s, you could actually camp out on the beach. So what my grandfather and I would do was we would drive down to Galveston, and we would actually just pitch a tent and stay there on the beach at night. Or we would sleep in the back of his pickup truck, because, back in the 70s and 80s, this was fun stuff to do. But if it was raining or whatever, my grandfather would rent a room across the street at this motel. And I had kind of just briefly described it a couple of times to Mike, but while we were there on Saturday, and this is why he gets Husband of the Year award, he actually was able to find the spot where we used to camp out. And he was able, just based on my descriptions, we were able to find the small little motel that we stayed at. And Galveston's pretty big. I mean, like from where we were staying on the island was a good probably 40 minutes from actually Galveston Island or the Galveston area. So the fact that he was able to actually find the motel, as soon as we drove by, he's like, is that it? And I'm like, yep, that was it. So it was really cool to get to go back there and able to find what was such a treasured memory for me with my grandfather. And it just brought back all kinds of memories, and be able to see the hotel. And oddly enough, it looks like it has been closed down, and that maybe they're remodeling it and going to reopen it. So I would love to be able to go back there and actually stay if they do reopen it and see that. But so he definitely got the Husband of the Year award, because that was really cool to be able to relive that memory and actually find where my grandfather and I used to go all the time. I absolutely loved it. The beach was great. Now here in Texas, we do not have the white beaches, and you don't have the clear blue water. So what you get is kind of a muddy water until you get out towards, I don't know, maybe half a mile out in the water, then it turns blue. But because there is so much dirt and sand and the waves are coming in, it's constantly churning up the sand. So the water is brown, but it's not dirty water. That's just the appearance of it. Um, but that was beautiful. And to be able to go to the beach, Mike and I originally were just going to go and we were going to, walk around, take some pictures, have a good time. But then we ended up actually going to the dollar store and buying, oh my gosh, the hat. That's the funny story. We actually ended up going and buying some beach towels at the Dollar General store because at this point, Lake and Jordan had already gone home. And we decided to spend the day at the beach yesterday, which kind of delayed our trip coming home, but it was so worth it, guys. I always encourage you, take the moments, live in the moment. Like we knew, I never saw blue water until I took a cruise. Yeah, Lisa, some places there are some really beautiful, white sandy beaches with water, but I just want everybody to know in Galveston, it's great. You should go, but you're not going to get the blue water, right? And some people are kind of scared to get into the water or think it's dirty water, but it's not at all. Um, but I just always tell everybody, Mike and I had planned to leave and to be back here in Dallas Fort Worth area in time to go live, or at least be on the road and go live. But once you are in the moment, make the memories and take the time. Like, yes, we have a YouTube channel, but it was also important for us to, while we were away, to make those memories. And so he and I spent the day at the beach and we really had a lot of fun. We bought that hat actually for Mike for our Vegas trip. However, I'm sad to report that it is not going to be making the Vegas trip. We're going to have to go get him another hat. By the time we were done out of the ocean, it's not salvageable. We can't make it happen, so we'll have to get him another one. Welcome in, Bradley Jones. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us tonight. But anyways, guys, it was a great trip, and I'm really glad that we went. There's the pleasure pier that they have. So this is a really nice boardwalk. There were a lot of games to play, some restaurants. At night is a happening place. And it's just a lot of fun. There's so much to do. And, talking about do you take your kids to Vegas or not? This is definitely a place to take your family. There was just so much to do and see the duck tours. And oh my gosh, we spent a good hour driving through Galveston and look at the houses. They were just absolutely gorgeous. I kind of got the feel that we were actually like in New Orleans or something to that point. Because the houses there are just gorgeous, and I just felt like I was in New Orleans. I'm looking at these pictures, guys. Sorry. But we had a great time. It was a lot of fun. We actually saw the Carnival cruise was there. I think it was the Dream ship. It was getting ready to, it had just come into port, so I'm sure that they were switching passengers on and off and stuff. And I've actually never seen a cruise ship up front and close. Like I've just seen them out in the water and I've seen pictures of them, but I actually physically seeing that cruise ship, I didn't realize how big they were. Holy moly. And there was so much to do. You could see people were on their boats. There was slides. I mean, there's just all kinds of water parks and whatnot. And I was telling, I've got to make it on a cruise someday because that just looks like a lot of fun. And it was so massive. I just didn't realize how big these cruise ships are at all. But it was just overall a great experience. I really want to go back. I'd like to spend some more time there. I don't know that right now is a good time, guys, because it was so hot. I am not kidding you. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just being outside in the humidity, and of course we have humidity here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but down south, it was real. Like I would walk outside and my glasses would immediately fog up. And then just your phone trying to scroll through. I mean, the humidity was a real deal. It was absolutely, air was thick. Well, yes, Deanna, it was beautiful. I absolutely love it. The cruise ship itself was gorgeous. Like the amount of just massive, right? And I know most people have seen cruise ships and probably been on them, but I had not. But just the whole history behind Galveston and how old it was. And then they have this one restaurant that's been there since 1911, I believe it was. Um, it was just really, really cool. It's called Guido's. It was a cool restaurant as well. Like I said, we ate at this Clay Walker's bar, and then we also ate at Nate's one night. Other than that, we ate at home. Yeah, Jordan made us breakfast. We had sandwiches and whatnot. But we just had a great time hanging out with family, having a few beers, making some memories, and enjoying everything. It was really a lot of fun. Uh, I will tell you, I got very disappointed because we were fishing and you just with live shrimp or live bait or whatever, you toss that in and you just kind of sit there and you're waiting for the big moment, for the big fish to come. Well, I had that big moment. I am sitting there and I'm sitting next to Michael and we're just sitting there talking and Lake's on one side of me and my fishing pole dips down and dips down again and I'm like, oh crap. And I mean, like, not just the bobber, but the whole pole is dipping down. So of course I'm like, grab it, and I'm reeling it in and I'm popping it and I'm reeling it in. And then all of a sudden there was just this huge snap, like the loudest snap you could be. And I really thought my pole broke, but it was not. It was just the line and the fish got away. But I'm here to tell you, whatever was on the other end of that fishing line, the hook itself was massive because it just snapped my line just so quick. In the loud noise, I really thought I'd lost my pole. Luckily, we didn't. And then, oddly enough, the next day we get up and there's my bobber floating down the bay. So Lake was able to retrieve it, and so I didn't lose the bobber. But just interesting because I don't know what was on the other side of that. And I kept telling Mike we should jump in and try to retrieve the bobber, but we didn't know what was on the other end of that line. And, being in the ocean, it could have been a small shark. There's no telling, but it was just odd, and I really would have enjoyed to be able to reel that baby in and see what we had on the other line, but I guess we will never know what it is. But all in all, guys, it was great. I enjoyed it. uh, Thank you guys for being patient with us for not going live last night as planned, but sometimes you get caught up and you need to make those memories, and we truly enjoyed spending the extra time on the beach and taking our time coming back home. Now, coming home was interesting because we waited so long and we left so late that it took us almost 6.5 hours to get home, which it should never take that long. But we got stuck in traffic like you would not believe. I mean, just stop and go traffic all the way up to Dallas. So I guess everybody was leaving about the same time and trying to get back up to North Texas. But anyways, we had a great time. I can't wait to go back. I usually go see Lake every other month. This time we were able actually for him to take a vacation and we were able to go to the beach, and I'm glad we did. It's always great seeing Jordan. Mike had a great time stepping out and getting to relax a little bit. When we go to Vegas, we do have fun, but we are always filming. We are always on a schedule. We're always trying to get content for our channel. Therefore, we don't necessarily have a lot of downtime. So this was really great. We are 18 days away from going to Vegas. We're going to hit the Grand Canyon, we're going to hit Williams, Arizona, and then we're going to go into Vegas and have a lot of fun. So cannot wait. But again, I just wanted to jump on today. I wanted to tell y'all thank you so much, and we appreciate all the love and support that you guys are giving our channel. We had a great time, and we appreciate your patience with us not going live last night. We do have a premiere tonight at 8 o'clock if you guys want to jump in. It's one of Mike's videos of Drinks with Mike. So he'll be premiering that very soon. And let me think. I think that's all that we have right now in the shoot. I don't think we have any other videos as far as room reviews go. But hey, you guys, looks like you had a great time. We absolutely did, Ron and Sharon. Thank you so much for coming in. It was a great time. We are back. As you can see, we got a lot of sun, but it was totally worth it and had a wonderful time. But all right, guys. Well, what I'm going to do is we will cut it here, and we're again going to be having our premiere that starts at 8 o'clock. So I hope you guys can all join us. Yes, definitely, Lisa, thank you. Be sure you hit that like button on your way out. We will be seeing you this Sunday as we cover part 2 of our Vegas history. Going to be very interesting because it's going to get more into the mob area and all of those wonderful things. So you don't want to miss that. Be sure you hit your notification bell and join us Sunday at 7 o'clock. And that's Central Time, of course. Yes, Kelly Bell, have a wonderful evening and good night. So, guys, I appreciate it. I know it was short and sweet, but I just wanted to show you and talk about our Galveston recap. Highly recommend if you've never been. Beautiful place. Very relaxing. I would highly recommend staying on the bay side if you're going to be renting an Airbnb or a VRBO or anything like that. I would highly recommend the bay side versus the beach side because you can do both. They're within 5 minutes of each other. So why not stay on the bay side where it's calm and then just drive over to the beach? You can. Most of these places have golf carts that you can just take over there with you. But definitely appreciate everything that you guys, all the support that you give us. Hit that thumbs button on your way out, and everybody have a wonderful, wonderful week. And we will see you on Sunday night. Thank you, guys. Everybody, take care.
This has been a Mike and April studio production.